Guyana and Qatar further cement relations, and 13th National Two Shows Council Conference continues. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Wednesday, October 9. We have lots to tell you. Bilateral ties between Guyana and Qatar were further strengthened today with the accreditation of that country's ambassador. Guyana has enjoyed cordial relations with Qatar for 23 years. On Wednesday, October 9, His Excellency President David Granger accepted letters of credence from Qatar's non-resident ambassador, His Excellency Al Abdullah. According to President Granger, these ties were founded on mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity, non-interference in internal affairs, cooperation for mutual benefit, respect for international treaties and laws, and maintenance of regional peace and security. The head of state highlighted the recent air services agreement between the two countries.
Guyana and Qatar strengthened their bonds of friendship further with the signing of the bilateral air services agreement only last month on the 24th of September. This will pave the way for future cooperation in investment, in trade, and in air travel, and also, hopefully, in the movement of people. Guyana welcomes this important initiative and remains committed to working with the government of Qatar to enhance air connectivity in an effort to link the Caribbean and the Middle East.
The head of state further expressed his wish to deepen ties with the Middle Eastern state in trade, capacity building, and education.
I also wish to suggest that new fields of cooperation, especially in energy and tourism, be explored. Guyana is keen on enhancing partnerships with experienced petroleum producers such as Qatar. I'm confident that your appointment as ambassador will provide opportunities for fruitful discussions and exchanges in the oil and gas sectors of both of our countries.
The president also noted his government's commitment to working with the United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and deepening its engagements and relations with Qatar through these organizations. His Excellency Ambassador Al Abdullah echoed similar sentiments to the president, that both countries have enjoyed excellent relations despite the geographical distance between the two.
I'm looking forward to work and cooperate with members of your esteemed government to develop and enhance the already exciting cordial relations between both of our countries. Your Excellency, let me reiterate my thanks and consideration to Your Excellency.
Guyana and Qatar established formal diplomatic relations on August 23, 1996, and since then have collaborated at the multilateral level through several organizations. Ambassador Al Abdullah, who succeeded Ambassador Ahmad Al Haiki, will be resident in Brazil. Guyana to get $1 billion to end gender-based violence and ensure that women and girls realize their full potential in a violence-free, gender-responsive, and inclusive way.
UN Resident Coordinator and United Nations Development Program UNDP Resident Representative Mikiko Tanaka made this announcement during a presentation at the 13th Annual Meeting of the National Two Shows Council.
It's a global initiative launched in September 2017 with a European Union contribution of 500 million euros. That's actually a lot of money. It galvanizes political commitment in achieving SDG 5 on gender equality. It promotes a holistic and multi-stakeholder approach to gender-based violence to catalyze transformation, acceleration, and innovation. And it is we're striving to model a new kind of partnership with donors, government, civil society, communities, and across the UN system.
Tanaka explained that the initiative will encompass 6 pillars.
We have law and policies, we have systems and institutions for prevention and response to violence against women and girls. We have social norms, attitudes, and behavior change for prevention. Available, accessible, and quality essential services, and quality and disaggregated data for evidence-based decision-making. And last pillar is women's movements and civil society advocacy.
Radio broadcaster at Radio Pyromac, Michael Williams, pledged his commitment to collaborating with the UNDP to prepare content on the issue of violence to educate the people of the North Rupununi, while Tushaw of Rockstone Village Flanagan Carter, said there should be some inclusion in the revision of the Amerindian Act of 2006 on the issues. Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Valerie Garrido-Low, acknowledged the importance of the program.
Our women need to be protected. Our women need to be respected. And we cannot get that done by ourselves, even if we have groups. We have to have support from our men. We have to have that support. So I'm going to ask all the Tushas, all the senior councils, to make sure you take this program seriously.
The Spotlight Initiative will deploy targeted large-scale investments in Asia, Africa, Latin America, the Pacific, and the Caribbean, aimed at achieving significant improvements in the lives of women and girls. Guyana is one of the countries in the Caribbean to benefit from this transformative initiative. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Much emphasis is being placed on improving the public service system. In this regard, the Department of Public Service today launched its Personnel Practitioners Conference. The forum is being held under the theme Innovation and Best Practices in the Public Service Governance.
The rules and procedures that guide you should not be used to stifle or keep the status quo and even to punish public officers. A satisfied worker is a productive worker. I would like the rules and procedures that empower public officers to use their creative talents to deliver public services to citizens at the right time, in the right form, and in the right place.
Minister of Public Service, the Honorable Tabitha Sarabo-Haley, told human resources practitioners at the conference on Wednesday. She expressed hope that the public service moves away from personnel management and towards human resources management in order to portray the human capabilities that are necessary for an enhanced public service. Highlighting the need for the conference, Director General within the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, said the government is continuing the transition to a modernized public service.
For this to be achieved, there must be two approaches. On the one hand, the use of new technologies, as outlined, will be employed. On the other hand, there has to be a concerted effort to enhance the management capacity, administrative efficiency, and skills level of all public servants from the lowest to the highest tier of the public sector workforce.
The Bertram Collins College of Public Service, formed under the coalition government, has produced over 120 graduates thus far. Creating a professional and dynamic public service is one of the pillars of the government of Guyana. Shaquille Bourne, for InfoHub.
The Guyana Elections Commission began its claims and objections period. But what does this mean for the man or woman in the street? Let's find out in this report. What this means essentially is that a prescribed timeline has been specified for persons to go and check the new voters list to ensure that their names are on it. GECOM's claims and objections exercise began on October 1 and goes until November 18, 2019, when this part of the election preparation process is scheduled to end. GECOM, the entity responsible for the administration and conduct of elections in Guyana, is urging citizens and persons eligible to vote to check for their names on the new voters list. If there is any need for changes or correction to the data recorded or transfers in relation to addresses, this is the time for such verification. In terms of eligibility, this is what you need to know. You're eligible to vote in the regional and the general elections in March 2020 if your name is on the preliminary list of electors or PLE. For this to happen, though, you must be 18 years or older or become 18 by December 31, 2019. A Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or registration, or a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for no less than 1 year preceding December 31, 2019. GECOM's claims and objections exercise is being conducted at all GECOM offices throughout the country. For more information, you can access the Commission's website at http://www.gcom.org.gy. Still to come, Minister Henry calls on educators to network and agri-school engages persons with disabilities. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. Educators across the country are being called upon to share ideas and best practices as the government continues to place academic development at the top of its agenda. This call is coming from the Education Minister, the Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry.
Nothing can be achieved by a singular effort. It takes all of us in our various roles to be able to perform at an efficient rate and hopefully at maximum capacity. We cannot rest until we have all of our students reaching their full potential. And the role of the teacher is a very important role to achieving that outcome.
Education Minister, the Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry, was addressing a seminar on leadership training at the Siripota College of Education. The seminar saw heads of various CPC centers throughout Guyana meeting for the first time. Many of the educators were receptive to Minister Henry's remarks and sought to make it the focal point for the two-day workshop. Salome Castro of St. Francis Center in the hinterland gave her view on the opportunity to collaborate with centers along the coastland.
I think I will welcome that with everything. In there we don't really have resource persons, so it will be a good thing for us in there.
With 29 representatives from the Mabaruma Center, the representative, David Hernandez, commended the opportunity to network.
In the Mabaruma Center itself, the area, it will be successful because we can share ideas and we can be more familiar with what's going on the coast and with the systems. Well, we'll be more familiar with what is going on around in Guyana to be able to encourage others to work, so that we can attain the level of training that is required to be a successful teacher.
InfoHub also spoke with the head for the Anna Regina Center.
On the coastal area, we would have tried networking because we communicate a lot with each other. We look at our differences, our weaknesses, our strengths, and we try to enhance each other's center based on the network. And I think networking is good because what might work in one area might not work in another area. And then you can put these things together and help enhance the education sector.
The workshop is held under the theme Towards Effective and Efficient Leadership in Teacher Training. Reported from CPC in Turkine with videographer Kenyan Bacchus, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Persons living with disabilities have been given the agricultural experience through a field school that was hosted at the Guyana School of Agriculture.
The Agri-Ability Field School is a one-day exercise formed part of Agriculture Month activities. The exercise saw the Guyana School of Agriculture opening its classrooms to persons with disabilities and exposing them to a hands-on experience with farming and agri-related processing methods. According to Minister within the Ministry of Agriculture with responsibility for rural affairs, the Honorable Valerie Adams Yearwood, persons with disabilities should be included in such activities.
Some of you will have an opportunity to see what a shade house looks like, what drip irrigation system looks like. Some of you will go to the agro-processing unit and you'll have an agro experience. This activity says to Guyana that not because somebody may have a disability that we should throw them in a corner.
The community of persons with disabilities have been continually engaging the government for more inclusion in agriculture-related activities. This is according to Ganesh Singh, Program Coordinator of the Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities, who assured that they will make the most of the opportunity.
Over the past, I would say, 3 to 4 years, we've been trying to get more persons with disabilities involved in agriculture, whether it's at the level of food processing or starting their own little farms. And I know Mr. Archibald will definitely speak to the Minister about this. In ensuring that we can start our own little business, become entrepreneurs, plant those 2 little plots of beds in your backyard, so that at the end of the week you can get a $5,000.
A similar intervention was started in the 1980s, but this, however, was dissolved. The Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities noted its appreciation for the Agriculture Ministry's support in such a venture. The person engaged hails from Regions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Before we close, here's a reminder that GCOM's Claims and Objections exercise began on October 1 and ends on November 18, 2019. During this period, persons who are 18 years or older or will become 18 by December 31, 2019, and persons whose names appear on the preliminary list of electors or PLE are to visit the registration office in their respective districts to verify their registration records for inclusion on the official list of electors or OLE. Also, persons whose names appear on the central registrar can make changes or corrections to the particulars of transfers. The countrywide exercise is being conducted at all GCOM offices. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.